I've just come back from a 16-night Baltic cruise on Arcadia, and in this video, I'm taking you on a full, honest ship tour, deck by deck. This is part of my Arcadia Baltic cruise series, and we'll be starting right at the top on deck 11 and working our way down through every bar, restaurant, lounge, pool, and a few secret spots you might otherwise miss. Let's begin at the very top. Deck 11 is the Sky Deck. It's the highest passenger accessible deck. It's also very peaceful, with panoramic sea views, a few sun lounges, and plenty of fresh air. It's also where you'll find the sports court right at the back of the ship. If you're into golf nets, shuffleboard, or just want a quiet place to look out over the sea, this is a great spot. Just forward of that is the East Bar, a small Asian-inspired venue with indoor and outdoor seating. It's more low-key than other bars, and it has a lovely view down to the Neptune pool when the roof is open. Right next door is Sindhu, Arcadia's Indian specialty restaurant. I dined here while docked overnight in Copenhagen, and the food wasn't as good as my previous experiences on Ventura, Arvia and Britannia. And if you're wondering what the food's really like across the ship, including what's worth paying extra for, and what's better avoided, make sure you're subscribed, because I've got a full Arcadia dining review coming soon. There is also a large sunbathing area forward on deck 11, but it does get very breezy on this deck and was hardly used on our Baltic cruise. Let's move down a deck to deck 10, which is the Sun Deck. This is where you'll find even more lounges and a few classic cruise ship deck games, like shuffleboard and deck quoits. It's a quiet space to enjoy some sun or take in the sea breeze. At the forward end of deck 10, you'll find the Crow's Nest, one of my favorite bars on any P&O ship. It's a quiet lounge by day with panoramic sea views, and by night, there's often live piano music or a relaxed cocktail vibe. It's the perfect place to watch a sail in or sunset. During our cruise, this was one of the most peaceful spots on board. Next to it is the Viceroy Room, which is the wedding chapel. It's a small private space used for onboard ceremonies. Midship on deck 10 is the Retreat. This area is often used for dance classes and group activities during the day, but it's also a calm indoor lounge space. It felt a bit underused on our sailing, but it has loads of potential. Deck 10 also has more sunbathing space, but also something many cruisers miss, deck games. You'll find shuffleboard and deck quoits here, often set up and ready for a bit of old school fun on a sea day. It's a nice way to spend time outdoors without needing to grab a sunbed. You'll also find additional lounges up here, often quieter than the main pool decks below. But I never had a problem finding a sunbed or a chair on this cruise, unlike on Arvia and Britannia. Deck 9 is the Lido deck and is where it all happens. It is one of the busiest decks during the day. This is where you'll find the main pool area, casual dining options, the gym, and the spa. There are also some secret spots tucked away that I'll show you. At the back of the ship is the Aquarius pool and bar. There are lounges, 2 hot tubs, shaded seating, and a brilliant view over the wake. This is also where you'll find the best spot for sail-aways. Midship is the Neptune pool. It's an all-weather pool with a retractable roof, 3 hot tubs, and a bar serving cocktails, Costa coffee and snacks. Between the Neptune pool and the Aquarius pool is the Belvedere buffet. It's open for breakfast, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, and late-night snacks. Food rotates with different themed nights. British classics, Indian, Asian. Right next to the Neptune pool is the Neptune Grill, a casual dining option offering burgers, hot dogs, chips, and more. Perfect if you're after a quick bite without heading inside. Forward on deck 9 is the Oasis Spa, with a hydrotherapy pool, steam rooms, sauna, and relaxation areas. Spa passes were around £39 for a 2-hour session. Now here's a lesser-known tip. Just before the spa, tucked in on the way toward the front of the ship, there's a free sauna. And yes, it's actually free to use. Not many passengers know about it, so it's a lovely quiet spot if you fancy warming up after a swim. Next to the spa is the gym. It's fully equipped with treadmills, bikes, free weights, and it has large windows so you can work out with a view. And just past the gym, down a quiet corridor, is one of my favorite secret spots on board, a forward-facing viewing deck that not many people know about. You'll get stunning panoramic views right out over the bow of the ship. It's particularly beautiful at sail away or during scenic cruising. But if it is really windy, then they do close it off. Now let's move through decks 8 to 4, which are primarily cabin decks. But there are still a few useful tips along the way. Our cabin was C197, an inside cabin located aft on Canada deck, which is deck 6. It was a really quiet location, great for sleeping, and an easy walk to the rear staircase for the pool deck and down to the Meridian main dining room. And here's a quick invaluable tip for getting your bearings. P&O use a carpet color system. Grey carpets equals aft, blue equals midship, red equals forward. It's a simple way to figure out where you are without constantly checking signs. Did you know about the carpet colors before this? Let me know in the comments if you've ever noticed this on Arcadia, or if it's brand new info, and if you've got any other little Arcadia tips, I'd love to hear them. There's also a laundrette on several of the cabin decks, including deck 6. I didn't use it as it was always incredibly busy, so if you need to do laundry, go early or later in the day to avoid queues. There are also some cabins on deck 10 forward, and on deck 1 as well. Up next is deck 3, and it's the Promenade deck. You'll also find venues like the screening room, the Meridian restaurant's club dining area, and access to the Palladium Theatre. Arcadia has a full wraparound promenade deck. It's one of the ship's best features. 3 laps equals 1 mile, and it's also a quiet place to sit with a book or watch the sea go by. Inside midship is the piano bar, which looks down over the atrium and has a great view of the glass ceiling. This bar was one of the places on board you could find a seat in the evenings and had a lovely, cozy vibe. Nearby you'll find the shops, including duty-free, beauty products, jewellery, and a small souvenir section. There's also a library and an area for board games, plus Cafe Vivo, which serves Costa coffee and free snacks when you buy a drink. Forward on this deck, next to Cafe Vivo, is the screening room, a small cinema showing recent releases. It's a lovely space with reclining leather chairs and a great alternative for a quiet evening. And right at the aft of deck 3 is the Meridian restaurant, Arcadia's main dining room. This level is used for club dining, with fixed seating times, 6:30 p.m. for first sitting and 8:30 p.m. for second sitting. If you like having the same table and waiter every night, this is the option to choose. You can also access the upper level of the Palladium Theatre from this deck. Also on deck 3 is the photo gallery, which you'll pass just before reaching the Meridian restaurant. This is where you'll find all the professional photos taken during your cruise. It felt like a wasted space to me and was always empty. Deck 2 is the main deck and is full of lounges and evening venues. Forward is the Rising Sun, a classic British-style pub with quiz nights, darts, sport on TV, and live music in the evenings. It has a really authentic feel and is a favourite with regulars. Next door is the Monte Carlo Casino, followed by the Art Gallery and then the Globe. This venue hosts live music, cabaret acts, and late-night dancing. There's even a small dance floor if you fancy a twirl after dinner. Midship is the Ocean Grill, Marco Pierre White's steak and seafood restaurant. We dined here on our last night in Copenhagen and had brilliant service and great food. It's the only ship in the fleet with this venue. Next to Ocean Grill is Intermezzo, a cocktail and champagne bar. This was my favourite bar on board, and they made the best cocktails. Next to Intermezzo is Spinnaker Bar just outside the main dining room. Very popular as people waited for their table to be ready. Aft of deck 2 is the Meridian restaurant again, this time operating under Freedom Dining, where you can eat any time between 6 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. It's also open for breakfast and lunch, so it's a flexible option for all meals. You can also access the Palladium Theatre from this deck. Deck 1 is where you embark and where you'll find the lower level of the 3-story atrium, along with reception, shore excursions, and loyalty and cruise sales. Forward on deck 1 is the Palladium Theatre, which spans decks 1, 2, and 3. The headliner's theatre shows were fab, but if you want a seat, get there early for the 8:30 show. There are also a few spots in the theatre with obstructed views due to pillars, so arrive early to get the best seats. And that wraps up this full deck by deck tour of P&O Arcadia. But this is just the beginning. In my next video, I'll be sharing my honest review of Arcadia'S 16-day Baltic cruise. From food to entertainment to how she compares to Britannia and Arvia, I'll be going into it all. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.